Hello, welcome back. My name is Andy. We're doing Python, and this is just a short addition to the chapter on dictionaries. I don't want to pack everything in these very big lessons. If possible, I try to divide it a little. So here we want to talk about the get method of dictionaries. This is a clever little hack that you can use when you want to make sure that your program will not produce an error if you access an entry of a dictionary that does not exist. And here is how that works. Let's look at the code. The way we talked about until now was to directly access the dictionary. So you have something like what you see here on the screen. You have student grades, right? And you have a list, a dictionary of student grades. And then you get Alice's grade by saying I want the student grades, and then I want from there in square brackets Alice, and then you get Alice's grade. So let me go down here and make a new code block. Here we go, code block here. And you see the example, student grades, and I have Alice, Bob, Charlie, and so on. And this is, Alice is in the dictionary, so I'm asking for the grade of Alice in square brackets, and I get it, right? So let me try this. I execute it. It takes a moment to load. And then you will see that I will get Alice's grade here. Alice's grade is 95, right? This is correct. So now let's say I don't want Alice's grade. I want somebody's grade who does not exist. So I want Sarah's grades. And now I execute this again, and what will happen, you can imagine, I will get a key error. I get an error message, and a key error is an error where I'm asking for a key of a dictionary. You remember the dictionary is key value pairs. So now I'm asking for a key that does not exist, and then I get a key error because Sarah does not exist. So what can I do now to avoid this? You don't want this to happen because normally you have to imagine you are not always there. You are the programmer of this, but your user is going to use it. And so in a hotel, for example, in a hotel booking system, we will talk about it in the next video, then you would have the hotel people at the reception, entering names. And so perhaps they mistype a name or something, and then they don't want suddenly this program to start, exploding and crashing. They want to get an error message, perhaps this name does not exist or something, but a normal program behavior, not just crashing your program. And so how can we avoid this? And there are multiple ways, again, how we can avoid it. But in this case, the easiest way is to not use this way of accessing the dictionary, but to use the get method. Every dictionary has a get method, and you remember a method is separated with dots with a dot, right, from the object. And so the dictionary object has a get method, and this get method will try to get the key out of the dictionary. But if this does not exist, it will not crash your program, but instead it will say none, and so that you know that this does not exist. So let's try it again now. Alice's grade is none. And if instead of Sarah here I say Bob, and now I execute it again, Alice's grade is 87. Of course, now the print is wrong. It says Alice's grade, but this is Bob's grade, right? And because I'm asking for Bob. So this is what happens. This is all that this get does. It just prevents the program from crashing. And if you ask for a value, for a key that does not exist, then you will get the value none. Now, we don't always want the value none, because the value none can be confusing if in your dictionary you already have a value none. This can happen. For example, you can have, you can have in a hotel booking room, you can have a guest called Mr. None. It's not very likely, but in principle, you can imagine this might happen. Or you can have a system that manages the inventory of a supermarket, and when there are no bananas present, then it gives you the value none, meaning you have to order new bananas, because now we have none of the bananas. But then none doesn't mean I didn't find any bananas. It meant I found the entry bananas, but we have none of them. So it's not always the case that you want none to signal this kind of error. And so this is why there is a second argument. So let's ask again for something that will give us none. But now we can give a second argument and say, if you don't find it, then give me back whatever message I say here. And now look what will happen. Didn't find that. Because the get method looks for what comes first. If the thing that you give as the first argument exists, then the get method will give you the value of that key back. If the key does not exist, it will give you back the second argument. If you have a second argument, whatever this is, you will get it back, or none if you have not specified a second argument. And this is all it does, but it is very nice because in this way, it makes your dictionary very safe to use. And we have a longer example, but I don't think you need much more than that. This is pretty clear already. So let's go on with our next example, which is the hotel guest reservation system. Thank you, and see you in the next one.